Want to know why production takes so long? What nobody tells you about the timeline between sample approval and your finished product. I remember the moment I approved my sample. I was excited, genuinely excited. I've been working toward this for a while, and holding that sample felt like the finish line was finally in sight. And then I started learning about what actually happened between that moment and the day your product is in your customer's hands. And the timeline was not what I expected. If you've ever wondered why manufacturing takes so long, or if you're in the middle of it right now and you're feeling frustrated by the wait, this video is for you. Go ahead, hit the like button and press subscribe, because I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening behind the scenes, why every phase of that timeline actually exists. Because once you understand it, the wait doesn't feel random anymore. It starts to make sense, and you can plan around it instead of being caught off guard by it. After I approved my sample, I knew I needed to cover production costs. So I decided to run pre-orders, drop the product, promote it, and use that revenue to pay for the manufacturing run. It's a strategy that a lot of small brands use, and it makes a lot of sense. You're not pulling money out of pocket, you're letting demand fund the supply. But here's what I didn't fully understand going into it. The moment you pay that first deposit, the clock doesn't start the way that you actually think that it's supposed to, or that it will. Most manufacturers require roughly 50% upfront to begin. And yes, paying that deposit does get things moving, but what it actually starts isn't production. It starts preparation. And preparation has its own timeline. If you're planning to run pre-orders the way that I did, this is the part you need to factor into your customer communication. The gap between I paid the deposit and production has begun is longer than most people actually realize, and your customers are waiting during all of it. This is what actually happens after you pay the deposit. So here's what nobody fully explains upfront. Once that deposit is paid, your manufacturer starts ordering the custom dies for your product. Dies are the molds or the cutting tools used to shape specific parts. These are made specifically for you and your product. That process alone can take a few weeks before a single piece of your product has been cut, stitched, or even assembled. While you're waiting on the dies, you're also responsible for shipping all of your materials and hardware to the factory. Your fabrics, your zippers, your buckles, your labels, everything they need to build your product has to arrive before they can do anything with it. They need every single piece. They're not going to start and wait for the zippers because you said it's going to take a week. So you've got two things happening in parallel. The factory is waiting on their custom tooling, and they're waiting on your materials to be sent. Both have to be complete before production can actually begin. And then once everything is in place, you go into the queue. Your manufacturer has other clients. You're not the only one. Other orders already in progress. You get a slot and you wait for that slot to open up. It's all in order in which everything comes in. So when I asked about my timeline, I was told production would take approximately 2.5 months. 2.5 months? Yes, once it started. Not from the deposit, once it started. That distinction right there matters a lot. So what this means for your launch planning. Here's the thing that I want you to take away from this. The manufacturing timeline isn't slow because something is going wrong. It's slow because every step is real and every step takes time. Your custom dies take weeks. Materials have to be sourced and shipped. Your queue slots are scheduled in advance, and production itself, done properly at quality, takes months. When you understand that, you can build a realistic launch plan. You can set honest expectations with your pre-order customers, or even just with yourself. And you can communicate proactively instead of scrambling to explain delays after the fact. The founders who struggle most with manufacturing timelines are the ones who plan for production to start the day they wired that deposit. It doesn't work that way. And now you know that. So my biggest piece of advice, when your manufacturer gives you a timeline, ask them to break it down into phases. Phase by phase. When are the dies expected? When do materials need to arrive to you by? When does your queue slot begin? What's the production completion estimate from that date? I asked all those questions. I had to find out I wasn't going to go on the queue until everything was there. You want to get those dates in writing, put them on a calendar, and build your customer facing communications around the realistic end, not a hopeful one. Manufacturing is a process, a real, layered, time-sensitive process. And the more you understand it going in, the smoother your experience will be on the other side of it. If you're in the middle of this right now, drop a comment and tell me where you're at. Are you waiting on dies? Are you shipping materials? Are you waiting for them to arrive? Are you in queue? I want to know, and I promise I will respond. If this helped you, please give it a like and subscribe to Tony Bekka for more content like this. I make these videos specifically for small business owners and designers who are navigating the product world for the first time. So if that's you, you're in the right place.